Well, University of Maryland Eastern Shore is over 700 and some acres with 4,500 students. We have 16 officers in our police agency, and we have 2,500 of those 4,500 students which live in residence housing.
Well, exercises like this are very, very important to both test the emergency action plan, emergency operation plan, whatever the case may be for the facilities involved. This did not only test their personnel to see if their plan is capable of handling the scenarios such as we gave today here, and also if they have a good mutual aid agreement with the outside agencies that will respond in to help them out.
Today we had a jurisdictional exercise that involved 3 counties, multiple police, fire, EMS, and hazmat response agencies over that geographic area.
Today's exercise actually culminated approximately about 2-3 months ago. Actually, it was kind of delayed a little bit with the hurricane that we had. So it's been an ongoing venture led by Chief Sumter and one of the instructors from MIFRE. Today's activities consisted of both the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Police Department, the Princess Anne Volunteer Fire Company and EMS, Mount Vernon Fire Company, Worcester County Hazmat Team, as well as the University of Maryland Fire Rescue Institute, who provided the facilitators for this event.
We're here today on the campus of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore to assist them with assessing the capabilities of their response to a hazardous materials incident. In light of recent events in the past in other areas of the country, the Public Safety Department here on campus felt it prudent to evaluate and assess their capabilities to respond to such incidents.
We do this exercise and exercises like it to allow our agency to work with other agencies in the area to practice, to learn our weaknesses and our strengths, to learn the weaknesses and strengths of the agencies that we work with.
What we do is when we do one of these exercises, we look at the risks that we've identified as far as a crisis response team for the university. And one of those is hazmat. And we are on a railroad line. We're within a mile of a major north-south U.S. highway through the Eastern Shore of Maryland. And so we looked and realized that there's the potential for a hazmat spill.
Initially, I was here at the Communications Center pushing out the alert information using the E2 campus to all our technology that we have, our E2 campus, our text messaging, our email, our cable television, our emergency notification, our alerters boxes where you can pop up on computers, messages can pop up. So initially I pushed the information out when we first got the incident, when the first call came in, I pushed the information out.
Our role as on the fire company response was initially as an EMS hazmat response. We were dispatched as 2 possible patients, arrived on location, set up command, did our 360 walk around, found out there was additional victims due to the campus security officers entering the building, which is their protocol to enter on the 911 hang up. We secured the scene, had additional resources come in, other responses come in, hazmat, EMS triage, MSP, State Fire Marshal's office, and did a full-scale scenario.
When we're developing these exercises, we look at a lot of things. This exercise is being done during the academic year on a weekend. We do it on a weekend because we do have to use public roads. We don't want to be disruptive to the normal traffic because the roads going through our campus are public road. We also look at when we can get the folks to come in and work at these exercises. In our case, here in Somerset County, most of our emergency responders, EMS, fire and rescue, and hazmat, are volunteers. And so they have jobs during the week. So we chose a weekend so that they would be available and we would not be taking away from their employers.
The full scale lets us practice what our responses are, what our roles are going to be in each type of incident. That way we can also practice the unified command that up to the National Incident Management System, where you get numerous coordinating agencies together to run the incident and manage the incident until it's completed.
When you come out here to the hands-on stuff, nothing beats being able to actually going out there and physically touching and doing stuff and seeing how the plan works. Generally, most times you go in and do a tabletop first, and then after you do the tabletop, you come out and implement it into what we did today, with it being a hands-on type of exercise.
When you're doing exercises, you have your plans, you have your tabletops, and then you can have many exercises and full-fledged. What we have done here at the university, we develop our plans, and we will start off what we call the crawl, walk, run. We will do the crawl, which is introduce everyone to the concept and what's happening through education. Then what we will do, we'll do the tabletop exercise and the walk, and then in the run phase, that's kind of like your graduation examination, and that's where we bring all the pieces together and conduct a full-fledged exercise. So it's not which one you want to do, it's the fact that you use all methods to have an end result that's successful.
The tabletop helps leaders on a strategic level to make a plan. But when you implement the tactical decisions, the on-the-ground people getting their hands dirty, that's when you find out where your weaknesses and your strengths are. And that's how you build those strengths, is through doing it.
I think the best thing that any college can do is do this. I think every college should be practicing, and every college should have a drill, and every college should work with their local department.
Went real well. From the fire standpoint, learning process, we learned, don't hesitate to call for your support. Get your manpower, personnel, whatever you need. Believe call for EMS task force.
Advice I would give to other universities and fire departments is you need to do a full scale. It needs to be planned, planning, and then you need to initialize it, do a full scale, and that'll show you what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what you need improvement in, and what outside agencies that you didn't consider using that you might actually need if it's an actual emergency.
What we learned today was multiple of law enforcement, fire, hazmat. Everybody learned today. We learned from what went right, we learned from what went wrong. One of the things that came out in just about every segment of it is communications. Every exercise, communications is so important, and we just reinforced what we already knew. In this county, we went together years ago, and all fire, police, EMS, all use the same radio system, so that's not part of the problem. It's taking those devices and us as humans, putting the verbiage in there of our knowledge and sharing it across the spectrum so everybody knows what's happening.